Debt collection is at an all-time high in the United States, and it turns out debt collectors don't always go after the right person.
And Julie is here now to explain how one man's paycheck almost got garnished due to somebody else's name on it.
Yeah, similar name, similar birthday. It is pretty astonishing how these things happen, and apparently they're happening more often than we realize. So when you get a ticket or a fine from a government agency, it's sent to county court. If not paid, that court uses private debt collectors with special power to garnish your paycheck through the franchise tax board. The problem, as we've learned, is they're not always garnishing the right person's paycheck. And when it happened to a local lawyer, he had to call us for help.
They give you like 2 weeks notice.
Greg Phipps says he was shocked to see the notice from the state franchise tax board saying his salary was about to be garnished.
It was like, what could this possibly be?
It said $786 for a court-ordered debt would be deducted from his next paycheck, but it didn't say why. And when he called the state franchise tax board to find out,
They just said, well, we can't do anything to help you. We can only pursue the garnishment based on the order that we have.
the state said the garnishment order came from the Santa Clara County Superior Court, but they couldn't help either.
And they said, well, we can't do anything about it.
So Phipps did some digging and discovered he was being garnished for a 2014 citation from the Milpitas Police Department, issued to a homeless man, also named Greg Phipps, with a similar birth date but a different address and physical description. And it's not the first time the courts targeted the wrong Greg Phipps.
He got arrested or charged and given a ticket for an illegal crossing of a street.
Wage garnishments are at an all-time high. According to ADP, 4 million Americans had their wages seized in 2013 alone. And representatives from both the Franchise Tax Board and the courts tell us they don't verify your identity before garnishing your wages. They say it's up to the issuing authority, in this case, the cops. But when Greg went down to the police station, they said it was too late.
So if you have the power to take money from people, you really, really should make sure that they're the ones that did this thing wrong.
Now, we contacted the Franchise Tax Board, which issued an emergency stop to the garnishment this past Friday. Greg is now filing what's known as an emendation order, which the court says will help it separate his records from the other Greg Phipps in the future. But the issue here is nobody seems to be verifying identity, and they're using third-party debt collectors, which presumably the court is contracting with, so they have some sort of obligation to make sure those debt collectors are going after the right people.
And you have no warning. You know, as your fine builds up, that goes to possibly the other person.
Right.
And then when the boom gets lowered, it's by this.
But legally, they're supposed to send notices before they actually get to the garnishment stage. When you get that garnishment order, you're supposed to be able to show that you've tried to warn, you've tried to notify the person.
So he did get one 2 weeks before the garnishment and spent 2 weeks trying to fix it himself. He's a lawyer, mind you. He couldn't do it. They wouldn't talk to him. Everybody said they couldn't help, so he had to come to us. So that really the notice is no help if it's 2 weeks before your garnishment.
No, come to Julie. Got a problem? Come to Julie Watts.
Forget law school. Call Julie Watts.
We're going to be looking into how much oversight the courts have over these third-party debt collectors, and we'll get back to you with another story on that.